Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Average Joe. This series where I'll be taking a look at a vehicle and telling you whether or not I believe it's worth the average player's time, or in this case, their money. In this episode we're going to be covering the RU-251, a 7.3 battle rating, rank 4 premium German light tank. Now in my opinion this vehicle is literally just a Leopard 1 but better in almost every way, and I'll talk about why I think that later on in the video. Just know that I'm going to be comparing a lot of things to the Leopard 1 on this vehicle. So just keep that in mind. With that all out of the way, let's start talking about what this vehicle is capable of, starting with the weaponry. Starting with the primary weapon, the RU-251 is armed with the BK-90 90mm cannon. Now in my opinion this gun is more than adequate for 7.3, with it having about 320mm of pen with a heat round, and it having very good velocity. This gun is going to serve you well so long as you respect its one major downside. That downside being your reload rate. Your base reload rate is almost 10 seconds, which is pretty painful for a 90mm gun. However, the gun itself is so good that I can't really complain all too much. Now, compared to the gun on the Leopard 1, the main thing that you're going to notice is the fact that the post-pen damage on the 90mm of the RU-251 is a lot worse. It's not enough to make it a bad gun, but it's enough to where if you shoot the same exact spot with both guns, you're going to notice that the Leopard 1 is likely going to do more damage. But I mean, you're using heat fin stabilized anyway. If you're not aiming for ammo or crew sniping, you're probably doing something wrong. The gun's angles are also pretty good. With 20 degrees of elevation and 9 degrees of gun depression, it's able to be used in almost any environment because of this. The RU-251 is also mounted with two different 7.62 machine guns, one being a coax and the other being roof mounted. If you know anything about coax machine guns, you know that they don't really do all too much in War Thunder past the very early game. However, the roof mounted 7.62, though it's only 7.62, it's still going to be useful because you're finally able to start seeing helicopters around this battle rating, and usually you're going to be killing them with machine guns by pilot sniping them anyway, so the caliber isn't going to matter all too much. Moving on from weapons into mobility, this thing is incredible when it comes to mobility. Seriously. If I had to describe the RU-251, I'd say it's a combination between the Leopard 1 and the Hellcat in the American tech tree. The mobility on this thing carries it so unbelievably hard, because even if for some reason your gun isn't able to deal with a target, you're going to be able to flank them and get a side shot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You're able to get to positions before the enemy can. Your gun is adequate for that same situation. You can easily get to sniping positions. You can flank the enemy. You can do really whatever you want just because of the fact that you are absurdly mobile. Moving on to survivability, this is really the only place that the RU-251 is lacking, because, well, if you know the Leopard 1, you know the Leopard 1 doesn't have much armor to speak of. Well, the RU-251 is basically just a Leopard 1's armor layout, but with less armor. Truly, the armor of the RU-251 is basically just cardboard held together by duct tape in the commander's spit. However, you do have three things going for you to keep you alive. Well, four, but one of them isn't really a feature of the vehicle, it's kinda just the fact that people don't pay attention. We already talked about the first one with it being your mobility. However, to go with the mobility, you also have a very, very small profile. You are fairly short and you are very small, which is very nice for hiding behind cover and then taking pot shots between enemy reloads. You also have 8 smoke grenades that you fire in sets of 2. Now normally German smoke grenade launchers that fire in sets of 2 like to fire them both in the exact same spot, and so you basically just shoot off one, however it halves your, smoke grenade count. But in this case, the RU-251 fires the smoke grenades in such a way that it could have covered the entire eastern front and allowed the entire German army to advance. It's pretty good on the RU-251 to be able to just drop one set of these and then reposition wherever you need to be. It's really, really helpful. Now the last thing for survivability actually has basically nothing to do with the vehicle, and it's actually because it's not the Leopard 1. When people see the RU-251, they usually just see a smaller Leopard. They don't think that it's an RU-251. They don't think it's any different. So they shoot where the ammo would be on a Leopard 1, and because of this, they maybe knock out the driver or gunner, and then you either shoot back or you get out of there. Now, because of this, a lot of people complain that the RU-251 is extremely survivable for no reason. Well, there is a reason. You're not shooting the right spot. Basically, to kill an RU-251, take your knowledge of the Leopard 1, reverse it, there you go. With survivability out of the way, I'm going to end up replacing the miscellaneous section of this video with a comparison between the RU-251 and the Leopard 1. Now, one of the main reasons why I believe the RU-251 is better than the Leopard 1 is because of the fact that it's at a lower battle rating. Now, personally, I don't think that this is the only big reason. However, it is still worth noting, because the difference in battle rating between these two vehicles is the difference between fighting T-25s or fighting M60A3 TTSs. However, I do believe that if both vehicles were the same battle rating, I'd still much prefer to play the RU-251. And I actually was so confident in this that all of the background footage that you're going to see in this video is me playing the RU-251 at 8.0, because I was that confident that it would still be more enjoyable. And I was right. So do I think the RU-251 should go up in battle rating, or do I think the Leopard 1 should go down in battle rating? No. I actually think that both vehicles are fine where they are. I think that the RU-251 is easy enough to kill that it doesn't matter that its gun is good. So I think that it's fine at its battle rating. And the Leopard 1, its gun is very good and its mobility is still fairly decent for the battle rating, so I think it's still fine at 8.0. Now, could either of these vehicles be moved around? Yes, I personally think it would be best if both vehicles were 7.7, but that's just my opinion. Overall, I do just believe that the RU-251 is an absolutely amazing vehicle. Now, is it amazing enough to be worth its price tag? Let's find out. As of right now, the RU-251 is 7,480 Golden Eagles. Do I believe it's worth that price? Well, purely because of the fact that it's a rank 4 vehicle, I don't think it's worth it for grinding. However, if you want this thing for a lineup, it is incredible. If you can get this thing on sale, pick it up. It's what I did. I'd say it's worth it. It's a very, very, very good vehicle. I do recommend it if you want it for a lineup, and I do recommend it if you get it on sale. With all that out of the way, I'd just like to thank you all for watching. Please let me know in the comments if there's any other vehicles you'd like to see in the future of this series. Have a good one.